Hello, lovelies. It's G here with Golden Thread Tarot. The following channeled message is brought to you at the end of a video, okay, that I have yet to upload yet, but it is soon to come. But I really felt like this message really needed to get out to the collective. I just really enjoyed the way I delivered it, and I hope that you will too, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the message. So it's about looking at it with an air of gratitude instead of an air of, well, I made another mistake, another failed relationship, or, oh, well, I fell for a false flame and I can't, how could I do that? How could I have done that? Like, how could I have been duped? It was that person's purpose in your life to do that, and it was your purpose at the time to fall for it so that you could, on the other side of it, learn the lessons that you needed to learn, right? And that so in the future, you won't make those same mistakes with somebody else. All right, lovelies, you are improving. You are doing so much better. I feel it, in your heart. I feel it like spirit is just telling you there is just some things that are lingering, and it's this lingering five of regret, this five of regrets, this five of cups, this regrets, this feeling of regret. It's what's holding you back, okay? And I feel like now, okay, this feeling of regret is what this past person is left with as well. And it's also, okay, what's holding this person back from being able to move on, let go of you, and move on to their cycle, move on to a new cycle for themselves as well. But again, it's not on you, right? It's not on you to save that person. We can't save anybody else. All we can do is save ourselves, and we can be, and in saving ourselves, in improving ourselves, we can be an inspiration to other people to save themselves, right? We can't make anybody heal. All we can do is point out that that person needs to be healed, but it's still up to them, you know? It's still up to them to choose to do the healing. You can't take that power away from anybody else. That's always your own power to choose to heal, right? And as long as you convince yourself that there's somebody else that's holding you back, well, you're giving your power away to that person instead of seeing, I have all of the power, that no matter what that person chooses to do, I have all the power to move on, to empower myself through allowing myself to heal, regardless of the fact that anybody else is choosing not to heal, right? I'm being really reminded um, of a conversation that I was having with the husband of one of my best friends, and he was talking about issues and things that he had just been through in his childhood, and he was just like, I don't ever feel like this person that caused me these issues will ever apologize or will ever face up to the things that they did, or the negativity that they put into my life, and I feel like I can never heal from that because they won't confess to the things that they have done. And I told him, I was like, look, you can't give your power away and your ability to heal into the hands of somebody else, right? It is always about you. It is always about your choices. And it's never, if that person chooses not to heal, well, that's them choosing not to heal, right? If you choose not to heal, if you choose to say, I can't heal because this other person didn't heal, then that is a choice. That's not on them. That's on you, you know? So we have to take personal responsibility in our healing journey. It's, me or nobody else can actually, I'm not the one. Actually, I can inspire you, I can give you an inspiration, I can give you an idea that there's something inside of you that you need to heal, but I'm not the one putting in the work. I'm not the one doing the shadow work. I'm not the one that has your traumas that you are choosing to heal from, right? my I can only be hopefully bring some kind of clarity or some kind of inspiration to you to look at yourself, to do the work yourself, right? I am never the cause of your healing. I can be the inspiration, I can be the activation, I can be all of these other things, but me and other healers, other tarot readers, other people in your life, your power always lies within yourself. All the rest of us are just here to show you that power that's within you, right? And you can choose to, through the things that you go through, you can choose to see weakness in yourself, or you can choose to see the power that you can gain from those experiences that you have in your life. Okay, don't ever let anybody else take away your ability to heal. Don't ever let anybody else tell you that, or have yourself convinced that some kind of closure has to come from that person, because that's taking the power of your healing out of your hands and putting it in the hands of somebody else. And we can never control anybody else's responses or reactions or their future or what they're going to do, right? We can't control those things. People have free will, but you have the free will to take that inside of yourself, right? To take that power for yourself back from that person that caused that trauma, and understand that even if they choose not to heal, that does not mean at all, that does not take one little bit of your ability away to heal. It just might mean that it might take the ability for you to be healed and for that person to also be healed and for you to continue to have a relationship with that person. And I know that that can feel very much so like a like kind of defeatist, like, oh my gosh, like I want to heal this because I want this person to be in my life, or I want there to be a better relationship with that person. But you have to understand that if that person chooses not to heal, then you can't, then there's only one sided. Then it's only you doing all the work. And it's not this person pulling their fair share. And a relationship has to be, is a two-way street, right? A relationship has to be you both trying. And if that other person refuses to try, then yeah, sometimes the things we're gonna have to let go of people who refuse to heal, who refuse to move on to the next level with us. And that unfortunately has to be a place where we found peace in that, right? Find peace in finding healing inside of yourself. You can always hope that at one point, this person will eventually choose to heal, and perhaps you can have a relationship with this person, or perhaps you can allow this person to be in your life. But in the meantime, you have to do what's the best for you. You have to do what's the best for your healing. And sometimes that means cutting those people out of your life. And I know it can be really hard because, these people can be our friends, can be our family, they can be our own children, um, they can be our spouses, they can be parts of ourselves inside of ourselves. So I know that it's really hard to face those moments where spirit is asking you to do the hard thing, which is sometimes walking away from people, even people that mean so much to you, right? The point of the matter is not in a selfish way, in a healthy selfish way. You have to matter more. Your personal health, your emotional health, your physical health has to matter more than you having a relationship with that person. Because if having a relationship with that person means that you compromise any of those things for yourself, then you need to ask yourself why you're fighting so hard for a relationship that doesn't serve you. And that's a good place to start on your healing, right? Keep asking those hard questions of yourself. And then when you get to that point, say, okay, when you're ready. I can't tell you and nobody else can tell you when you're ready, but at some point, I do pray that you guys will be ready to let go of these people and to let go of the regret that you feel about this, okay? Because stop blaming yourself for this other person choosing not to heal. It has nothing to do with your worth. It has nothing to do with, a reflection of how healed you are. Because I know, especially if you guys are on the twin flame journey, so many people hear, oh, your twin flame matches your energy, right? So if that other person is not healing, subconsciously, you feel like there's a part of you that's not healing, right? And I feel like there's a lot of people out there that are on the journey that confuse a false flame or confuse a really strong karmic energy, right, with their actual person that they're supposed to be with. And they stay stuck in karmic cycles for so long with those people who are just refusing to heal because they won't face their own pride enough to go, okay, I probably chose the wrong person. I probably convinced myself that this person was somebody that they're not. And a lot of times that's what we have to tell ourselves, right? We are so in love with a version of somebody that doesn't actually exist. We are in love with a version of with somebody that's healed when they are not a healed person right now and they are choosing to stay unhealed. We're falling in love with the possibility of who a person could be. But the reality is what it is. And we have to find that power and that strength inside of ourselves to allow somebody to be who they really are and not who we wish they were. That is part of facing our own codependency, is allowing somebody to be who they truly are, not their mask, not the fake version of them that they present to the world or that they tell us they are, but who they really are, and not the person that in our mind we see them to be based on what they mean to us, what kind of reflection they are to us. This is a person that loves me. This is a person that's supposed to be all of this for me. That's codependency, right? And those are the really hard things to see in other people and to see in ourselves. Because so much of the time we fall in love to the possibility of what this could be, right? We fall for infatuation, and then we fall for the possibility of who someone can be. But it's so important that we pay attention to who they really are in the state that they are right now. Not the person that they could be 5 years from now, but who are they right now? What kind of compromises will you have to make to stay with this person until they could possibly be the person that they could be 5 years from now? If they put in so much hard work, they could be this person, but do they want to? And no amount of you being there and supporting anybody can make them do something that they choose not to do. Because so much of the time we feel like it's something lacking in us. If I am just a good enough wife, if I'm a good enough spouse, if I'm a good enough daughter, if I'm a good enough parent, this person will just be the person I see them to be, I want them to be. But people aren't people we want them to be. They are who they are. And we have to allow them the freedom to be those people. And that means sometimes we have to allow them to make their own mistakes. We always have to allow people to make their own mistakes. Because trying to take away those mistakes from people is taking away opportunities for them to learn, for them to see themselves who they really are. And that's not on us. That's not our place to take that away from anybody else. And it's also not on us to place some kind of fetishized version of who somebody is onto them, right? It's not on them to match the version of them that we have in our mind, the person that we see they could be, right? That's on us. We have to stop expecting people to match the vision of the person we think they are in our mind. Because that's not their responsibility. Their responsibility is to be the person, one, that they want to be and that they say they're going to be, right? But if they still choose not to live up to that person, if they still choose, because a lot of times that's what we can get hung up. Well, this person says they want to be that. Yeah, they say they want to be that, but is the motivation for them to actually be that person there? And that's something that has to 100% come within that person. You cannot put that within anybody else. And you can stand there and scream from the top of your lungs as loud as you want to about how I'm your divine counterpart, or I'm the person you're supposed to be with, I'm your wife, or I'm your husband, or I'm blood is supposed to be here and you're supposed to support me. Well, what's supposed to happen and what is actually happened is often the gap, is this delusional gap that we're minding, right? And we have to jump that gap and to allowing to see the reality of what things really are. And that's often when that gap is jumped, is when we have a tower moment in our life, is when we have that sudden realization, that that hangman in reverse moment where we're like, and God or spirit or whatever you want to say removes the people's mask and we are actually able to see them. It's all part of our awakening, right? And it's us realizing that this person didn't suddenly change. That person has been that way the whole time. And what we were seeing was the fake version of them we were constructing in our own minds based on, could be their lies, could be the lies we're telling ourselves, could be the possibilities that we see inside this person. The list goes on. But it's in those moments when we are strong enough to let those masks, to let our mask and our ego fall to the side and allow people to be who they truly are, right? That's when we can have some kind of enlightenment inside ourselves. And the only thing that we can hope is that at some point, that after we detach ourselves from this person, we choose to grow, we choose to move on from this situation, that they can choose to do the same thing. Whether or not that brings this person back into alignment with us or it sends them on a completely different path. That's the only thing we can hope for people. And too much of the time we have been manipulated, okay, into thinking that we're selfish for choosing healthy selfishness, right? That we have been manipulated by people who don't want us to leave them behind. No, 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 I promise. No, no, I know that that I wouldn't do that, but I will still do it again. Okay, you have to take some personal responsibility in believing the lies again and again and again, right? But that doesn't mean stay beating yourself up or stay hating that past person. because they're already in pain too, being stuck in that karmic cycle. Their soul is in pain, wanting to move on to the next level, but their ego won't let them. So don't let your ego and don't let your pride stand in your way from moving on to the next cycle and leaving behind this past person, okay? And a part of your ego can also be guilt. It can also be regret. It can also be sadness that we're clinging and hanging on to something. You know, the fact that we don't want to admit to ourselves that we were hanging on to a fake version of somebody or a fake version of ourselves. But it's so important that we allow that ego to die. We go through our ego deaths. We allow those masks to fall away, and that we allow people to be who they truly are, because they deserve that. They deserve to be who they truly are. They deserve to be seen for who they truly are, regardless of how much that might hurt us. Because in the end, it's going to end up helping you. All right. Well, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you for coming. So I hope that really brought you some clarity and enlightenment. I just boom channeled all of that for you guys. Okay. I really hope that this really helped you. I really hope that those who need to see this really see this. Okay. And that you can allow yourself to move on past this. Okay. I'm really hoping for the best and the highest outcome for everyone involved in this. All right. Pray for your exes that they do better and that they can grow up and they'll treat their next better. Pray for you because, pray for yourself because you got a lot of really good things coming. And, really ask your angels, your spirit guides, your team, the universe, God, whatever it is for you, to really help you release these past things and to see things for the truth, for how they truly are, and to help you to not have such a visceral reaction to seeing, um, to helping you have tranquility and peace in seeing the truth, right? And to allow yourself to have these healing moments despite what anybody else is going through. Okay. So good luck out there for you guys. Okay. If you are new here, think about subscribing to the channel. Okay. We have some new content coming and I have a lot of other things planned for you guys, so I'm really excited to bring those to you. Okay. If this resonated for you, check out some of the past readings, my past channeled messages or pick a card readings. There could definitely be messages there for you as well. Okay. If you are a returning subscriber, hello, lovely. Thank you for being here once again. And either way, whether you subscribe or whether you don't, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for participating in this energy exchange with me. Okay. Thank you so much for the interaction on my channel. I really appreciate it. Okay. I hope this brought you some clarity. Thank you so much for all the love and the support and the donations, the personal readings that you guys are getting. I'm so happy that I'm helping you. Thank you so much for all the love and everything that everybody's giving me. I really appreciate it. And I give it right back to you guys. Okay. So definitely wishing all the good luck and abundance moving forward. Okay. Keep your wits about you. Okay. Keep your mind open. Stay connected to your spirit guides. And I will catch you guys in the next one. All right. Bye, lovelies.